Reaction is pouring in from around the globe after the US carried out what the Trump administration has described as a large-scale strike against Venezuela and its leader. United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres emphasizing the importance of international law, saying he is deeply alarmed by the recent escalation as it sets a dangerous precedent. Colombia's President Gustavo Petro, too, strongly condemned the U.S. action, calling for an emergency meeting of the UN Security Council and the Organization of American States. Cuba's President Miguel Diaz-Canel, a staunch supporter of Maduro, is calling for the international community to respond to what he has described as a criminal attack. Russia's foreign ministry is condemning the act, saying Venezuela. Reaction is pouring in from around the globe after the U.S. carried.
Mr. President, we have confirmation the operation is underway. Signal strength is holding. No interference.
Some things just look cinematic. Cinematicness is a difficult one to describe because there's no set rulebook, no formula for creating a cinematic image. There are thousands of different ways that you can shoot video in a cinematic way. So why is it so hard? What makes a video look cinematic? There are a number of different factors that you have to consider. You've got the way the camera's being moved, the lenses that are being shot with, the actual camera equipment itself, the sound design, the set design, the color grading, and the actual talent. All of these things come together to aid the process of creating a cinematic looking image. But if there's one thing that stands out as being the most important, it will be lighting. If you don't think about lighting, then you're really going to struggle to create a cinematic looking image. And if there's one piece of advice that I could give to myself when I was just starting out making these videos, it would be to invest in lighting equipment. But you know what? I don't think I would have listened. You see, when I was first investing in camera equipment, the thought of lenses, camera bodies, stabilizers, gimbals, sliders, tripods, and all that sort of thing seemed really exciting. I'd order them online and I couldn't wait for them to arrive, and then as soon as they did, I'd be using them all day long and I'd be absolutely loving it. Whereas the thought of a new set of lights and spending a lot of money on a new set of lights, that really didn't interest me. And I think it might be because when you buy a new kit for your camera, the improvement is instant. You get yourself a new gimbal and now suddenly you have smooth, shake-free video. You get yourself a new wide aperture lens and now you have super shallow depth of field to play with. But if you get yourself a new light, I mean, it arrives and you turn it on, and then it makes things brighter. The thing is with lighting is that to use it effectively is really, really hard, and it requires lots and lots of practice, something that I've been trying my best to do over the past 6 months. But even the simplest scenes, such as me being sat in my camper van, are improved by lighting. To get this look, we use 2 different lights and a handful of light modifiers. We have the Aputure 300D LED light shining light through the window of the camper van, which is then being softened by a 5-in-1 diffuser, which is going to create a nice soft light across the right hand side of my face. And then for the left hand side, slightly darker side of my face, we actually put a black 5-in-1 up against the side wall, which creates Ladies and gentlemen, I do believe we're now live from the Hermitcraft server, from the VW bus. It is very nice and cool. I'm liking doing streams in the evening because, you know, during the day at the minute we're getting some really, really nice weather in England right now, and it is meaning that it is actually really quite warm in the VW bus. But we're here, we are on the Hermitcraft server, and my plans have been all over the place today, okay? So here's the thing. I wasn't certain, for those of you who don't know, it is Mother's Day in England, which, you know, I mean, you guys have Mother's Day in America, you have Mother's Day pretty much all over the world. It is Mother's Day today in England, so I've spent a lot of time with my mum. It's been absolutely lovely. I'm sure I'll post some form of Instagram, Twitter photo or something at some point tonight, so that you can, well, you know what, I don't even need to do that. Why would that be the first thing that I go to? Alright, but yeah, it's Mother's Day today, so I've been doing a lot of stuff with my mum. I was fairly certain that I wasn't going to get my video finished, and I totally didn't. And make it just a death hole. That could be the move. I think that could be a bad idea, though. I mean, I don't really know what I like the idea of. I like the idea of filling it with water. I mean, that's what the guys on the Sidecraft server did. So they filled the entire thing with just water to make everything spawn.
It will cost $10 billion to manufacture just one more F-22, but the reason is not what you think. In 2017, the US Air Force told Congress that restarting the F-22 production line would cost $9.9 billion before even building a single jet. Now, the tools needed to make the F-22 still exist. More than 30,000 jigs and tools worth a whopping $2 to $3 billion were packed up and sent to the Sierra Army Depot in California for storage in 2011, after the last F-22 was built. The real problem is that the Raptor is a technological dinosaur. Its 1990s computer processors are no longer produced, its original network of suppliers is mostly non-existent, and the guys who knew how to build the F-22 are now playing golf in Florida. Although Lockheed does have a library of DVD tutorials on how to assemble the F-22. It will cost $10 billion to manufacture just one more F-22, but the reason is not what you think. In 2017, the US Air Force told Congress that restarting the F-22 production line would cost $9.9 billion before even building a single jet. Now, the tools needed to make the F-22 still exist. More than 30,000 jigs and tools worth a whopping $2 to $3 billion were packed up and sent to the Sierra Army Depot in California for storage in 2011, after the last F-22 was built. The real problem is that the Raptor is a technological dinosaur. Its 1990s computer processors are no longer produced, its original network of suppliers is mostly non-existent, and the guys who knew how to build the F-22 are now playing golf in Florida. Although Lockheed does have a library of DVD tutorials on how to assemble